Authorities to respond to a worrying United States health alert. That's our top story in your Barbados Today morning news update. Good morning. It's Friday, January 26. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Government officials are expected to issue a full response today to the latest warning from the United States that tap water on the South Coast is not safe to drink. In a statement posted on the U.S. Embassy website yesterday, the Americans claimed that recent tests of the tap water found elevated levels of bacteria. It advised its staff at the embassy to boil their drinking water or use bottled water. In immediate reaction, Health Minister John Boyce told Barbados Today he would be meeting with Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Anton Bess and other officials from the Ministry of Health today before offering comment on the matter. Just over the weekend, Boyce had given assurances that weekly tests of the tap water showed it was safe to drink, while tests of the seawater revealed that it too was normal. This is the fourth time that Barbados has been hit with warnings and travel advisories linked to the sewage spill. Canada and the United Kingdom have also issued travel advisories. The latest development has drawn a scathing criticism from former Health Minister Liz Thompson. She says it's a national disgrace and the government must give answers. Thompson called on Prime Minister Frondell Stewart, Health Minister John Boyce, Water Resources Minister Dr. David Estwick, Business Minister Donville Innes, Environment Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe, and Tourism Minister Richard Seeley to come clean on the type and frequency of random testing conducted to determine water quality on the South Coast. She charged that if sewage is visible above ground, then it must be worst on the ground where the pipes are located. Thompson stressed that Barbados could ill afford any more international embarrassment, and authorities must ensure there is thorough testing on the South Coast to ensure the public is protected. In other news, there is a call for employers to be more compassionate about the impact of substance abuse on staff members. It's coming from Chief Executive Officer of the Substance Abuse Foundation, Marietta Carrington, who wants the stigma attached to users stamped out of the workplace. She made the comments recently following a seminar on substance use, abuse, and addiction in the workplace at the Sea Rocks Dome in Christchurch.
It is important to recognize that as a culture, we may not necessarily want to share with someone else that we have a problem. And today we talked a lot about stigma and what that means to an individual, what that means in the workplace. We feel shame that we have a loved one who is sick. And because the stigma allows individuals to perhaps go into hiding, they don't want to share, they don't want anybody to know. The reality is, if you're using and you're sick, everybody knows. We live in a very small society. I want to appeal to employers to be open about this illness called addiction as they would in any other chronic disease. What can be done? How can it be done? What are the benefits? So that our employers and our employees know that there is a safe place where they can work. And if you're working in an environment that you can be at risk to yourself or others, to ensure that individuals who do have a problem feel as if they can come, I have a problem, I need help, and get that help, because help is available.
In sports, 5 Barbadians will play for combined campuses and colleges Marooners squad when the Regional Super50 Championship bowls off later this month. They are batsman Kyle Cobbin, who is the captain, opening batsman Lenico Butcher, all-rounders Ryan Hines and Jamil Stewart, and wicket-keeper batsman Carlos Maynard. CCC Marooners are competing in Zone A in Barbados, along with defending champions Barbados Pride, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, Windward Islands Volcanoes, and English County side Hampshire. Zone B comprises of Guyana Jaguars, Jamaica Scorpions, Leeward Islands Hurricanes, United States and English County team Kent. The Super 50 will be held in Barbados and Antigua from January 30 to February 24.
There's regional and international news after this short break. Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional happenings, officials in Guyana have captured a prisoner who escaped from a Brazilian prison during a routine patrol yesterday. As we hear in this Capital News report, the escapee was taken in for questioning and later identified after behaving in a suspicious manner.
An infamous Brazilian criminal was apprehended by ranks of the Guyana Police Force Mounted Branch Station in Letem whilst on patrol in the Takatu River area today. Roger Rodriguez and 99 others escaped from prison in neighboring Brazil. The escapee, who at the time of escape was serving a sentence for vehicle theft, has since been handed over to law enforcement officials in Brazil. A media release from the Guyana Police Force stated that the man began acting suspiciously upon seeing the troopers and was later detained for questioning before being positively identified.
And finally, 1.8 million undocumented immigrants could become U.S. citizens in exchange for funding for President Donald Trump's long-promised border wall. We get more in this report from Reuters TV about the White House framework proposed on Thursday.
Trump told reporters at the White House that he'd support a new law that would allow young immigrants who came to the country illegally as children to qualify for citizenship, calling it an incentive for those who would work hard for 10 or 12 years first.
I think it's a nice thing to have the incentive of, after a period of years, being able to become a citizen.
White House officials say 1.8 million people would be affected. That group, known as the Dreamers, now face possible deportation because Trump stripped away their legal protections. His remarks Wednesday cheered senators from both parties who are working on a compromise, like Republican Lindsey Graham and Democrat Dick Durbin. But Trump's words set off alarms among immigration hardliners who blasted the idea as amnesty. Trump also laid down some conditions. He said he wants $25 billion for his border wall with Mexico and new restrictions on some types of legal immigration, making it harder for U.S. residents to bring relatives from overseas and ending a separate program, known as the Visa Lottery, that primarily draws immigrants from Africa. The White House is expected to put the terms on paper on Monday. That could set the parameters for debate on Capitol Hill if Trump sticks to the script. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says Trump accepted and then rejected a similar deal last Friday, prompting Democrats to shut down the government.
Negotiating with this White House is like negotiating with Jell-O.
In recent weeks, Trump has told lawmakers he would sign anything they brought him on immigration. And then he set off a diplomatic uproar by saying he wanted immigrants from Norway, not countries in Africa.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also catch us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. To have a wonderful day.